Hello.
We're back. Everybody was saying, oh, I can't wait to see how you put the other side together to match. And it's like, it's actually easier because we have a direct course. Yesterday we made the window for the door out of this template. And this is the rear window template. We made them at the same time.
We hope you liked the video. If you didn't watch it, and like, comment, share, and consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing. Yeah, so we're going to do the back window today. The quarter window, excuse me, not the full rear. But like in the other videos when I did the side windows, we're needing to recontour this area where that rubber that surrounds the window fits onto. So, series of cuts. I called it the finger technique. So you
Solid.
just, I heated the other one because I was getting frustrated, but with this one, a little more patient, and I'm able to bend it by hand.
You get frustrated in your shop?
Yeah.
I actually had to add in the last video of the whole template thing, you did say a bad word, but I put a funny sound over it.
Speaking of funny sounds, we were watching Bugs Bunny last night, and that is pretty politically incorrect nowadays. But it's funny because I was mentioning the Crusher, and they you almost can't find that full episode. It's not out there. There's little excerpts where he says that, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
How times change.
Bugs Bunny though, he was something.
A lot of just like inappropriate behavior.
It's kind of. I can't believe that's what we were watching as children.
Right. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I got the back of this. You know, what I'm concerned with here is mainly this edge, as I was describing. So that's pretty close. I could live with that. And then the front half is the, again, we're working with two different bodies. So the very first body was this one, and then the second one was painted red, but it was green. So this is how it's going to happen. We use the front half where the door jamb is for that, and then we splice in this new back half like that. And the bottom is on the existing car, and then the drip rail from the second body, the red bug, becomes the door top surround. I already trimmed out the old back window area. If you want some more detail on that, that's the prior video doing the driver's side.
Part 21.
It's all a blur to me. But see, the way that door top got longer using the two different car pieces, we're able to retain this drip rail feature, and the new door top goes into where the old back window used to be. So a little time saver because we got two cars. So we'll start by chopping the B pillar here and setting it onto the car body, whilst considering all the efforts to come. Okay, stepping in. I'm going to tape this like I did yesterday once we get started. But first step is to line up here and here. So this cut looks a little bit crooked. I'm going to correct that first and then join them together. It's just ramping up a little bit. I think I was a bit hasty perhaps. I'll just level it a little bit. We got our window template. Just going to double check if this fits inside that edge or if it's just in the window opening itself. Yeah, so it's right inside that ridge. So that goes there. And then this is going to go here. So just to say, and chop it right there and then double check. My standard thing is always make your error on the bigger side of things. So probably gonna end up with the cut somewhere in here. So I'm gonna stay just outside and double check. Looking at this, I went through the hardware hole for the seatbelt, and if you compare that to the other side, that's still showing. So we're right in the ballpark. This pillar might be just a hair taller than that side, but all that matters is that the window opening is the same. Yeah. See that? Just a little bit more. So when I'm doing this, you see I didn't measure anything. I just kind of looked at the gap. I considered the width of the disc. So the cut, all in all, is about from there to here. And you can always just kind of trim it in a little bit. I work that way almost exclusively. Not a lot of measuring. Yeah, see? That'll work. And click on that welder. Do some welding. I mentioned this yesterday, how I'll put one big oversized tack. That way it's grabbed, but I can position it still. That's it. I'm just going to rest that right in place. The board also helps ensure that this drip edge, I'm sorry, that the flange that the rubber holds onto is straight. So it looks like I got a cut on the back side of this and lean the B-pillar that way just a little bit. If you look at it from this angle, you'll clearly see it. So we're trying to keep this flat because the glass is not going to bend. So see how it's got that play right there?
Yeah.
It's got to be from here. So that's got to come in considerably. So I'm going to put a little better tack right here just to really reinforce it and then cut the inside of it. It's an interesting thing. I can feel this when I weld. I can feel this moving around and I'm actually holding it. So it's interesting to see how much things shrink and stretch. I want you to watch that piece.
Like watch the end of it?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is just illustrate how much just the heat moves things. I'm going to just hold this here. I'm going to put a mark right where that piece is. It may not move up and down, but it's going to move just from the heat. So that's something you're always considering, is how much heat you're putting into it.
like a magic trick.
Actually drop just a little bit. Yeah, right there. That's it. Okay. Check this with the door top here. Gaps look okay. Actually, let's pull this down a hair more. Yeah, that's it. Cool. I've said this before in other videos about this little red ball of steel. When you're working and there's a little gap like that, you use that to your advantage. You hear I'm pulsing it, I'm hitting it, I'm letting that rod burn back, and then I'm inserting that right in there as I'm welding. So it's a little bit bulky of a weld, it does require grinding, but when you do have, especially with such thin sheet metal, that little bead on the end is your friend. You see? I'm just putting that little dot right back in place. Always building off of the weld bead, because if you just try to burn right there, it's going to be more difficult to start the bead again. Most important thing about welding sheet metal without a backer of some sort, you see I did use a little backer rod in here to get it started. Once you're into this area, I'd prefer to have a large metal buildup, because the weld bead isn't just top-sided, it's all the way through. So you do have almost the same representation of drop metal on the interior of it. So grinding off the top, you do have a little bit of reinforcement. Probably about as big as this welding rod or so on the inside. But that's nice and strong now, so I'm going to continue on the back. Now we got to consider this top side. Looks pretty much like it's flowing. It definitely changes shape dramatically. I think this little wave obviously isn't what the other metal is, so our window shape's probably going to be somewhere in there. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to see how this all comes together. I could tape it in place right now, but I don't think we need it. Yeah, see, that's pretty close. That's kind of what I was thinking. So yeah, I'm going to cut that off right there. How much? About that much? I think so. A little more. We're in the ballpark. Yeah. Not real concerned with this. Actually, yeah, let's get real concerned with that. Why don't we? I'm going to tack this in place, and I'm just going to heat that and make it correct. If you Try this yourself. You'll see how easy it is to burn away and the metal will fall off.
Well, didn't that happen on the last video?
It happens all the time, even to the best of
Where
us.
I put the little oopsie noise.
Yeah, oh, it happens all the time. Especially if you're trying to move fast, like some of us impatient fabricators do. All right, a little comparison. Yeah, I can work with that. I like it. Put a little clamp on there and get those two surfaces aligned. Volkswagens are a little thinner metal than American cars. If you ever tried to do customizing like on a Honda or something, they're super thin. I was doing a lot of like custom lowrider Honda things in the San Fernando Valley years ago, and shaving door handles, things like that. Man, they are thin. All right, that's cool. I like it. That's reasonably strong. Heading in the right direction. Going to do a quick heat on this one bend and kneel it a little bit. Yeah.
I like it when you bring out the torch. One of these days I'll have to get on video like heating something. Looks pretty amazing. The fire axe.
Yeah, this is one of the oldest tools there is in modern welding.
Well, it was cool that one time we watched Gene's metal shaping class and the whole like lead sled and the whole, how he had the torch and he was like laying the lead. That was so neato.
It's the whole vibe.
Yeah, that was cool. I had no idea.
That was pretty cool too. So I'm just going to heat this up till it's red. That'll take some of the stress off from me bending it. It'll be a little more agreeable. You can see that moving now. See how it changes shape? That's what I was describing. Look at it move. See that? When you heat the metal, it expands. When it cools, it contracts. So what you don't want to do is touch that thing. We're going to need to bend it right about there, or between those two. It's close enough for me. I like it. I'll just put the bottom piece in. Call that wrapped around. Looking for an inside corner. This is from the other side, and I think that'll work right through here. Bang, bang. Pretty much from there. How about that?
Perfect.
we can always, now that this is sort of fixed, I could take a dolly and I can hammer that window shape if it needs to be. I'm just going to cut that big weld bead off right now. Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Anything that could move out just a little bit. Yeah, I can live with that. Now I'm going to finish off this rear piece here, just like we have on the other side. And that should give us a window surround, because it's flat right through. I like it. Let me get a piece of steel. Let me clean this paint off. You remember from the other episode, early on, we replaced this entire quarter panel. So I was just putting in the welds to really get that connected to the car body. That's galvanized. That to it. Just gonna miss it. Oh, look at that. Creative solution.
Oh my god. Only you would have such luck.
Usually I don't even have that kind of luck.
Oh, whatever.
We just witnessed divine intervention right there. That's amazing.
I'm glad I caught that on camera.
That's problem solving at its finest. It went from there to a piece of the car. Just like that. That's why don't throw your scraps away. You never know. Look at that. From a raggedy old piece of nothing to a custom car. Oh, yeah. Let's take a little bit off of this corner right here. Just mellow up the transition a bit. I like it a little bit more. Let's see there. Right, just kind of everything is sort of loose and set in place, but we have the templates that provided the actual window opening dimensions. Got this little sheet metal put in here. There's still a lot of welding and interior fitment to consider, but now you see symmetrical left to right. It matches.
You did it.
Almost. The next step is the structure, making it all count. So we ain't out of the woods yet. That's a big hook line in production. Takes you to the next episode. Man, we did really good today, but we ain't out of the woods yet.
Thanks for watching, guys, and ladies and kids.